There comes a night in every soul's journey where sleep I send to what you need first. Healing is. You may have laid down physically tonight, but something deeper brought you here. Not accident, not coincidence, something greater. The ache inside you became louder than your surroundings, and your spirit whispered a question you couldn't quite name, but God heard it. Maybe it sounded like a silent cry. Maybe it was as quiet as a thought you couldn't say aloud. But God caught it, and tonight He is answering, not with noise, not with spectacle, but with presence. A sacred, soul-soothing presence that enters rooms where pain has taken root and breathes new life into places that have been gasping. If you're here tonight feeling broken, know this: you are not disqualified from healing. You are perfectly positioned for it. God is not looking for you to clean up your emotions before He enters. He moves toward the wounds. He sits with the hurting. He gently walks into the places where we've hidden things for years and shines a light that doesn't expose to shame, but to soothe. And tonight, He's doing just that. For you. Because you re not just someone scrolling through the dark looking for sleep. You re someone heaven has drawn in for something more. This prayer? This isn't just what you're listening to. This is what heaven has been orchestrating on your behalf. Pain is not always loud. Sometimes it's silent and steady. A weight in the chest, a tight knot in the stomach, an invisible wound that drags through the day and crawls into bed with you at night. But the beauty of God as mercy is that it doesn't wait for you to explain your ache. He feels before you form the words. Before you named your trauma, He knew it. Before you admitted your heartbreak, He saw it. And now, as you sit here in this small, tender hour of night, He draws near. Not annoyed, not ashamed, not hesitant, but deeply willing. Willing to heal, willing to speak, willing to take what weighs so heavily on you and exchange it for a peace you didn't even know could exist this easily, this gently, this deeply. Healing doesn't always start with deliverance. Sometimes it starts with acknowledgement. Right now, God is not afraid of how long it's been. He's not surprised by how deep the pain went. He's not intimidated by your distance, by your doubts, by your despair. He steps into this moment not with judgments, but with healing intentions. This is your invitation, not to perform, but to finally pause, to stop hiding and start handing it over. Lord, here I am. That's enough. That's where healing begins. You've carried pain for days, for years, for reasons some understand and many don't. But now, you don't have to carry it alone. You may be used to numbing the ache, managing it, pushing it down to get through things. But God didn't design your heart to live under constant suppression. He formed you for wholeness, peace, breath. And tonight, He gently puts His hand right where the hurt settles and says, this doesn't have to stay here anymore. You don't have to carry this another night. You don't have to tuck away another tear. I'm here now. Let me be the healing your nights have been longing for. This moment is holy. This space between your thoughts and your tears, between your pulse and your prayer, between everything left unsaid and everything God already understands. This is where eternity touches you tonight. Not because you performed well enough today, but because you are loved more than your pain has told you. What if this night, yes, this exact night, is one you'll remember forever? Not because of what happened around you, but because of what happened inside you. The turning, the releasing, the sacred permission your soul gave to let go and to be found. You don't have to fight anymore. This is what surrender feels like. Not weakness, but the wisest step toward strength. Tears are not evidence you're failing. They are signs something deeper is coming alive again. Don't resist that softness rising up now. That warmth in your chest. That lump in your throat. That quake behind your breath. That's not fear. That's love brushing against a place that's long been numb. Let it in. Just breathe. Just receive. Heaven is closer now than you think. Jesus doesn't just observe your pain. He embodies the cure. And tonight, He is here with healing in His hands, speaking softly into the places that have forgotten how to hope. He changes lives not through spectacle, but through surrender. Not in loud revivals alone, but in quiet nights like this. Your bedroom now turned into a sanctuary, your bed an altar, your pillow soaking in the sacred exchange of resignation to restoration. Yes, this is the place. This is the hour. Don't sleep through it. Something is happening, and you don't have to understand it for it to be holy. Just whisper it in your heart now. It doesn't need to be perfect, just honest. Jesus, if you're here, please come near. Heal what I can't describe. Touch what I can't fix. Hold what I've never dared to give away. And maybe for the first time in a long time, your spirit will begin to agree something is changing, and I don't have to control it. I just need to let it come. Healing often doesn't arrive the way we expect. It doesn't always bring instant change or lightning bolt miracles. More often, it enters gently, like a whisper in the dark, like breath you didn't know you were holding. And maybe, tonight, healing isn't coming to erase your pain in an instant. Maybe it's arriving to remind you that it doesn't define you anymore, that you are not identified by what broke you, but by the one who's piecing you back together, gently, quietly, fully. The pain you've carried wasn't ignored by heaven. God didn't miss your falling apart. He didn't overlook your silent cries or the moments you laughed just to keep from shattering. He was there, present in the ache, listening in the silence, waiting in the shadows. And now, He's stepping out from the background and into the forefront of your night, not with judgment, but with open arms. With the same voice that spoke light into chaos, now speaking calm into your storm. Be still. I am here. You no longer have to hold it together. You just have to let me in. Healing doesn't always start with comfort. Sometimes it starts with confrontation, not from God to shame you, but from heaven to the lie that you must remain broken. The idea that wholeness isn't for you, the fear that too much time has passed, the secret belief that God heals others, but leaves you out. Those are not God's words. Tonight, the truth comes knocking. You are not too late, not too lost, not too messy. You are not forgotten. You are found in the middle of the mess, in the middle of the pain, in the middle of your night, in the middle of this prayer. Every whisper of healing is holy. And tonight, God is whispering over you still, not with performance, but with promise. He never needed a perfect you to begin the process. He only needed one thing, willingness. Just enough trust to say, I'm ready now. Ready to stop treating my wounds like secrets. Ready to stop acting strong because I'm afraid to be seen as fragile. Ready to give up being the hero of my own healing. Jesus, I need you. And He comes always. He arrives not with bandages and shame, but with presence and gentleness. The healer is not only powerful, He is kind. And tonight, He doesn't show up only to touch the surface. He wants to walk with you into places you've buried for years. Words spoken over you that still haunt you. Rejections that built walls around your soul. Moments you've tucked away in the back closet of your memory because facing them felt too heavy. He's not afraid of them. He's not afraid of you. Your entire story, every broken layer, every regret, He sees it all. And still, He whispers, I don't just want to heal you. I want to walk with you into freedom that can't be shaken. Real healing is more than recovery. It's discovery. It's finding wholeness in the place you lost it. It's watching mercy grow where resentment once festered. It's letting peace do what you're pretending never could. It is trusting that your pain tonight isn't to the end of your story. It is the doorway to the next chapter. One where you don't wake up carrying the same weight again. One where morning doesn't feel like a restart of an exhausting loop, but like evidence that God has been writing something redemptive, even while you sleep. But it starts here, this moment, this breath, this prayer. As you lie still and your thoughts begin to slow, know this: heaven is not waiting for you to say everything right. God's not grading your words like a professor. He is leaning in like a father, heart full of compassion. And all he asks is this: would you let me carry what's crushing you right now? Without performance, without a timeline, without shame, just surrender. Tonight isn't ordinary, because there's nothing small about hope returning to a tired heart. Nothing common about a soul whispering yes when fear had convinced it to dwell in anger or anxiety. If you're saying, "I can't do this anymore," God is lovingly whispering back, "Good. I never asked you to carry it alone. All I've ever wanted was your invitation to let me be protector instead of pressure, to let me be healer instead of just a helper, to let me restore what the world told you was your fault." So here is what healing begins to look like tonight. It looks like tears you don't hide. It looks like thoughts you don't rush. It looks like breath that slows for the first time in days. It looks like the walls inside your heart softening as truth arrives, not to condemn, but to comfort. What if God isn't disappointed in your pain, but totally prepared for it? What if he knew you'd arrive right here, right now, at the edge of giving up? Not to be pushed off, but to be caught? And so here you are, not perfect, not polished, but present, open, surrendered. And that's enough. That's where heaven starts building. From rubble, from honest ground, from the cracks where the light gets in, you are not behind. You are about to begin. Healing does not begin only at the surface. It begins in the spaces beneath the scars. The places you forgot to feel for so long that you assumed numbness was just your new normal. But God never forgets the softness inside your soul, even when life hardens it, even when pain numbs it, even when fear barricades it tonight. He is reaching beyond what you pretend is okay, into what you almost believed would never be okay. He knows how long you've been carrying it, and he's not measuring it like the world does with guilt or shame. He's holding it with care, the kind that knows the whole story and still stays. Can you feel it there, now in the quiet? Maybe it subtle, a soft breath, a warmth behind your eyes, a tenderness rising in your chest. That's not weakness, that's love knocking, that's grace entering that. As heaven reminding you what human words never could. You are not too broken to be made whole again, not too late to begin healing, not too far gone to return to peace. God is not overwhelmed by what overwhelms you. He is present with the pieces and tender with the places that have felt untouched for far too long. The healing touch of God is not like the world. As solutions, the world offers distractions, numbing timelines, quick fixes, closure through avoidance. But God does not avoid your pain. He sits with it. He weeps with you. He touches it with divinity, not rushing, not pushing, not promising you I'll never feel it again, but assuring you that it will not master you anymore. The pain will no longer be your narrator. The wound will no longer write your worth. The tear you've swallowed will no longer be the story you hide. Instead, it becomes the space God begins to rebuild mercy into movement, grace into growth. His voice inside you, even now, might feel unfamiliar, because peace is something the soul has to remember. After long battles, you may be hearing these words and thinking, I want to believe them, I want to feel them, but it's not reaching me. And to that, God whispers, I know, and I must still hear. Healing begins in the presence, not in the proof you don't. You need to see the outcome to receive the comfort right now. You only need to let yourself rest in me, but not going anywhere. And when you can hold on to me, I am holding on to you. Can you picture? His hands right now, not clenched, not distant, open, gentle, marked with both sacrifice and safety. Imagine him sitting beside you, not tall and booming, but low and leaning close enough to hear. Your breath synchronizing with his calm, and he says nothing, dramatic only. I see the pain, I know the weight, and I'm wiping it away, not as your reward, but as my response. Because you matter, because you came, because you trusted me with what you were too tired to carry anyone else. Let the walls inside start softening. You that kept them up to survive. But now you are not surviving, you are being restored. This eyes then to the end. It has the entrance into something sacred. The rug is not being pulled from under you. It is being laid out before you. Because Jesus doesn't just heal moments. He heals movement. He rewires emotion. He mends memory. He brings you to a reality where your story no longer begins with pain, but with purpose. And this night is more than just reprieve. It's real change beginning deep inside, under the exhaustion beyond what words have ever explained. Even if you sleep still feeling tender, God has already begun. He works beyond your awareness beneath your subconscious while you breathe, while you sleep, while you release. Healing eyes into a moment. As a rising, and tonight, the rising has started one breath at a time, maybe. One tear, maybe one. Yes, maybe just one word, Jesus. And in that name is power to disrupt every lie, to rebuild every broken place, to untangle every root of pain that's wrapped itself around your confidence, around your faith, around your future. He is not doing a small thing in you tonight. He is doing a new thing, making all things new, quietly, fully, forever. So breathe now, not like you did before, but like someone who is being renewed. Let your breath pray for you. Let your heart beat say thank you without even speaking. Let your body grow lighter, not because you remembered how to fight, but because you're relearning how to surrender. And in this release, let Jesus become more than a concept. Let him become cover, warmth, nearness, rest. This night will not be remembered for what was painful, but for what broke loose. This bed will not be known for tossing, but for turning your heart back to peace. You will wake in the morning, not with magic, but with mercy. And that mercy will be enough to carry you from grim to grace, from pain to promise, from silence to song, because the healing touch of God has found you. And his hand I sent he letting go. Before you close your eyes tonight, take a breath deeper than the rest, the kind of breath that means something is sacred. Exhale as if your soul just released what it had carried for far too long. And maybe it did, maybe something inside cracked open tonight. Maybe peace found a pathway where hurt had been hiding. Maybe God reached into a place you didn't even know needed healing. And now there is one thing left to do before sleep receives you fully. Receive him fully. Yes, let this be that kind of night. The night the breakthrough happened, not with noise, not with hype, not with resolution, but with revelation. That God is still healing hearts at midnight. That Jesus still walks into bedrooms, not with sermons, but with softness. That the Holy Spirit still knows how to speak louder than your anxious thoughts. And now you have a choice. You can let this remain a moment, or you can make it a memory, a marker, a moment where you say, I received it, not just heard, not just felt it. I let it in. I said yes. So if tonight was that night for you, Dawn, to let it pass quietly, even if you don't speak aloud, even if you don't have perfect words, even if there is no one else in the room, but you and God respond in the way your heart knows best. Maybe it as a whisper, maybe it as a breath, maybe it as a single sentence, Jesus, I receive your healing. And if you, rewatching this prayer as part of a reflection or listening through a screen, feel free to anchor this experience by typing your response. Not for the world, for yourself, type, I receive my healing, or God changed something in me tonight. Let your soul see the line between pain and peace has finally been crossed. If someone presses into your heart right now, someone you know is hurting quietly, living day after day with a weight they will never name, send them as it doesn't have to come with explanation. Sometimes a simple message sent in love carries the strongest peace. You may never see the tears they cry after watching, but God will, and heaven will remember that you shared hope, and maybe, just maybe, the same healing you found will begin for them too. And if you didn't feel anything tonight, if the tears didn't come, If it didn't feel like a powerful experience, that's okay too. Healing isn't always dramatic. It is often patient. It builds like sunrise, not fireworks. It seeps in slowly over time. And even being here, even staying long enough to hear this, to sit in this prayer, is proof of one thing your soul is still seeking. And that means healing is still unfolding. So don't give up. Come back tomorrow. Come back the next night. Let this become your rhythm. Where rest isn't just rest, it is restoration. This sacred space you entered, to closing it will always remain open for you night after night, not for performance, for peace. Here you're re-allowed to process, to release, to receive, even when you don't. To know what you need, even when all you know to say is I am still here. Lord, that is enough, because He is still here too. And He honors every return, no matter how small, no matter how soft. So as this prayer draws to a close, let it not feel like an ending. Let it feel like an arrival to a place. You are always invited into the arms of healing, the home of rest, the heart of God, and tonight that's where you belong, not in fear, not in shame, not in silence, but in serenity, a dreamless kind of serenity that stays even when morning comes. Close your eyes tonight, knowing this: you are held. The pain has met its interruption. The night is no longer just an escape. It is the holy space where heartache became healing. May your pillows catch the last soft tear of release. May your dreams carry no weight, only whispers. May your breath slow with the satisfaction of knowing Jesus touched you here tonight. And if you believe that, and if you receive even 1 inch of what came tonight, then type Amen. Send peace to someone else. Return again tomorrow, knowing that if nothing else changes outwardly, something inside you already has, and no one can take that from you ever again. You are healed. You are here. You are His Amin.